And you know, that's a little bit old, that chart. That chart's a couple of months old. And if you want to really see something that's said, take a look at what happened.
Let's get into this season. Season 2, episode 1. This is Svengali. Spelled a little different, you know what I'm saying? But this is all about basically what we see goes on in the media a lot, and we got a prime example of something that just recently happened. So with that being said, episode 1, I'm sorry. Svengali. All right, so Svengali, what the heck does that mean? What does it mean? I know people looking at it like, what are you talking? Are you coming up with some new words? It's actually a Hindu term, but it basically means when somebody is basically trying to coerce you to believing what they want you to believe and direct you to a certain belief or a certain thought, and for sinister purposes. It happens a lot. It happens a lot in our media and here in the States and probably some other places worldwide, where they just basically try to draw up a certain narrative to get the masses to basically go and think a certain type of thing. Recently it just happened. There was I'm finna throw air quotes. I'm doing it. Attempted assassination on Donald Trump. President Donald Trump. And I just got a lot of things. I got a lot of question marks. And with us being production people, we know a production when we see a production. It's a lot of things that it's a lot of questions, and we're gonna dive into that. It's a lot. We're gonna ask a lot of questions about that. And like, listen, I want people to understand before we even get deep into this discussion. We got smoke for everybody. So don't just think if we're talking about Trump that we are just like Biden people. Even if we was voting for Biden, if we was voting for Trump, this is meaningful discussions. We talk about the things that we see, the things that people don't want to talk about, and the things that need to be talked about. So don't put us in a category. Understand that anybody can get this smoke. Okay? It don't matter. If you do certain stuff and we see it, we're gonna call it. And this is something that I had to call out, man. I mean, you've seen it.
Yeah, I saw the video, and I'm pretty sure the entire world has now seen the video. And I just want people not to be so gullible as to not recognize what's really going on. And that's my problem with a lot of what happens in social media and in news. Like, I have a lot of elders in my family that take the news for precedent, but it is governed by a body of people that want to show you what they want to show you, when they want to show you it, the way they want you to see it. And then most of the time it's distractions from stuff that we need to be underlying paying attention to.
Yeah. And to give you a quick breakdown, we're gonna give you our opinions and everything like that. But I know a lot of people like to turn away from certain stuff. But before we even get to that point, I want people to understand the reasoning behind something like this. Hear me out. The reasoning behind something like this is to literally narrate and direction how you want this to turn out. I put it one of my posts. I said, if you believe this and if you drinking a Kool-Aid for this, just expect, the understanding what's going to come about this. It's going to be some gun talk. They're going to talk about gun laws. And it's also going to go back to what everybody been keeping saying. Even though he said he hasn't did Project 25, it's still a rumor that's going on. So the way he could spin it, he can easily say, oh, well, you saw how quickly we killed that person. If you break the law, this is what's going to happen.
See, you done went on to something else. That Project 2025, let me let y'all know right now. If you're not familiar with Project 2025, You better get familiar with it. Know what's about to happen, because it's very important for you all to know what's about to happen. Because that Project 2025 is going to affect so many things in such a drastic way that if you are not aware of even what it is, you're definitely not going to be prepared at the slightest for the dramatic outcomes of what it's about to do to us.
Yeah.
Now, for the sake of him not having anything to do with it, let me just say this. He has nothing to do with a lot of the shit that surrounds him because it's done by the people around him. Mm-hmm. He never really touches anything. What president really does?
That's why
these laws and these whatever regulations that are made up by people surrounding the figureheads that are supposedly the front runners for whatever it is.
And most of those people don't ever leave their seat.
Never. They've been there since they got elected, and they've been in there for more than 20 years just holding it down, doing whatever they want to do, but at the same time being controlled by those who, I want to say, bribe them to do what they need them to do. So just be careful to know that what's coming in this Project 2025 is going to be a drastic turn of events that if you're not even familiar with what it is, you're going to be hurt way more than those that do know what it is, because they're now putting in place things to protect themselves. Mm-hmm. And I always tell people, educate yourself so that you are ready, so you don't have to get ready.
Yeah. I mean, it's just as simple as that. I mean, like I said, when you see things like this occur, first of all, you got to ask yourself, how did this occur? and if you can't really answer that question, that's when you know, when you get to a moment like how we got to, where we was like, okay, this got to be fake. Because you got to understand the Secret Service. You know, once you're elected a president, you have Secret Service for life. For life. That's not, it don't go away. You have Secret Service for life. That's one. And if you see the video that we got put up, you could see how it's almost like the reaction is delayed. Now, we all done been around fireworks, we all done been around gunshots. You know, we done heard something to a standpoint where we're not going to react the same way you see the people behind him reacting. That's another thing. So you got all those things. You got to look at the fact that when it comes down to these rallies, they are checking everybody. Lastly, I'm going to say this. If they really wanted to shoot this man, why would it happen now? Out of all the things, I'm talking about 8 years of Trump, of Obama being the president, he was talking hella smack. 4 years with him being president, he was talking even more smack. We also done went through 4 more years of Biden, and he's still been talking smack. I don't think the stuff that he's saying, like the people that, can I keep it real?
Mm-hmm. I would prefer you to do that.
The people that will do things like that are the people that are on his side. To be honest, you're not gonna have nobody outlandish doing that type of thing that's coming from any other side, because it's just words that he's saying. It's just words at the end of the day. He ain't did enough to make somebody be like, oh, I want to knock him off. Think about it. If you want to go back to why Abraham Lincoln might have got assassinated, well, I mean, quote unquote, abolish slavery. Had a lot of people invested in it. You want to think about John F. Kennedy. His family had mob ties. Nothing makes sense for Trump somebody to even try it, besides him talking trash. That's all I'm saying. So you just got to really look at the situation, and then once you actually look at that whole entire breakdown, you also look at what Trump is preaching on. And then that's the scary part. That's what made me think about the Project 2025. how quickly they killed the person that was trying to, the attempted assassin. And they posting this picture all over the place, this 20-year-old kid. Kind of look like Kiefer Sutherland from 24. But this 20-year-old kid that they posting all around this place and saying this the person that tried to assassinate President Trump. It's important that you guys pay attention to what's going on, because the narrative that they're drawing up is what's going to actually be the one thing that's going to put him in office, and the one thing that's going to have them push towards this law, because it doesn't matter who's in office. When you hear about laws like this and then you see what's going on around the world, you have to understand that there is a one world government. So the same way you see the protests that's going on in not Libya, it's one of the countries in Africa. I can't even think right now, I lost my mind. There's a country in Africa right now that's having like serious protests because of a bill that they wanted to actually, tax bill that they wanted to bring up. They wanted to tax them more, and the people are basically like saying, look, how can you tax us more? We're not making as much money. That same thing is probably going to happen over here. As to say, if you go back a couple years before COVID,
probably it's happening.
Well, yeah.
We're being taxed on foods way more than we've ever been taxed
talking
before.
about the revolt part. The revolt part is because it's
The
their
revolt
younger
part,
kids.
okay, see, this is the problem. When you say that that's going to happen here, it can't happen here because the people here are oblivious to everything.
True.
They are being controlled with what they see in social media, what they're shown on the news, and these children in America don't really care about anything.
All right, so that's the one. I'm gonna have to send you some of the videos. That's the thing. The kids that's in this country are the same kids that's in our country. Like they're influenced by the shit that's going on, but they're also on this like we're not taking that type of thing. So it's like they're literally they're getting killed for. I mean, they're literally
I'm not talking about them. I'm talking about us.
Oh, it's about our kids. I don't know.
Our kids aren't doing anything. That's what I'm saying. We're not going to have that problem. These kids right here, over here, are not even on that. Yeah. They don't know what civil rights is. They don't even know what a revolt looks like. They don't know what it means to take a stand for something that affects them.
Well, listen, the point that I'm getting to is that most of the things that you see on a world scale, you have to take in mind and take into account that, okay, it's probably coming this way. If it's not already here, like what Shaq just said.
It's already here. It's just we on a different mindset.
Because the same thing happened, like even to piggyback off what you're saying, when it came down to COVID, before COVID hit us in Wuhan, China, I know you remember there was a bunch of protests that was going on. Mm-hmm. The same protest that was going on in Wuhan, China, we was having protests here, but it was for a different cause. However, people were together the same exact way. You know, same exact amount of people, different causes, but it was the people basically standing up for themselves against the government. And then out of nowhere, COVID came and it shut all that down. And then the same thing happened over here. It literally happened like in a wave. Mm-hmm. And they told us, oh, you know, it's birds, birds travel, it made the disease get over here. Okay, whatever. No, you gotta put it in our food. That's the quickest way you gonna make something trouble. And everything. Yeah, that's the quickest way you gonna mess us up.
So, with all that being said, like, let's run back to the initial what we're talking about, Svengali. What they're doing right now is giving so much momentum to why they should elect this guy back in and all this other shit. Let's talk about this video and how the aspects of it should let you know how fake this is. Okay? Because for one, like he said, if you notice the first thing in the video, if someone got shot in the ear, it wouldn't have been a wipe of the ear. It would have been like, oh shit, I got shot in the ear.
It would have been ducking down immediately.
Secondly, when the gunshots in the video go off, no one flinches. Everyone's just still waiting for the cue to get down.
Now, I don't want to cut you off, but I just want people to understand, because I know what people are saying. I get what y'all saying about Trump fans. But nobody, that's just a regular instinct. It doesn't matter how slow you are, how whatever you are, it doesn't matter. A regular instinct from danger is you're gonna.
First
What?
of all,
You know
from
what
an
I'm saying?
extremely loud sound, someone's going to flinch. I've watched people shoot fireworks on 4th of July, and they lit the wick knowing that the sound was coming, and they still jumped. So you mean to tell me when gunshots go off at a rally, no one decides to flinch?
Yeah, people that's literally still on like.
They were literally waiting for the cue to get down. And then when they got the cue, you would see how everyone started to get down, and then some people were still delayed getting down. You have other footage that shows the sniper that responded to the shooting. And when you see him, you notice how he got the cue to, oh, it's time. And he had to adjust himself to get ready for the shot as if he knew it was already coming. So when he started shooting, come on, like y'all gotta see these things.
Hold on, I gotta point something out. If you can see in the video, the shooter didn't change his position. That means that if he has that scope, that means he already seen the person. So why, you know what I'm saying? If they didn't change, they didn't have to look for nobody. It was literally like,
He was already aimed, ready to go. But like I said, when you watch the video of the sniper himself, you see him in the scope, and then you see him look up and be like, ooh. Like, it was a trigger that got him back down to start shooting. Like, it was not like he saw the person and took them out before they took the shot. You could see him get his cue and then go back to the scope to hit the shots. Like I said before, the ear, if I got shot in the ear, the pain of getting shot in the ear would make me winch more than flick my ear with my hand.
hire some better actors, man. Like,
I went to the barber shop and the barber nicked my ear and I almost jumped out the chair. So if that nick made me do all of that, if you got shot in your ear,
yeah.
pain, heat,
Yeah.
everything else, bro, come on. Your reaction should have been better than that.
And you're not gonna be like, go ahead.
First of all, we ain't even getting to all that yet. The delay of the Secret Service from the shots, if you see how many shots were let off before they even moved, would let you know something ain't right.
Homegirl was ducking. First of all, you need to be fired. Your job as a Secret Service, you are supposed to get capped for the person, okay? That's your job. A bodyguard person, if you bodyguard, security, Secret Service, your job is to take a bullet for the person that you are trying to protect. Why are you ducking, man? Like, she going across the stage like this, bro. Like, and I know she got the shades on. They got her dressed up as Secret Service. She got the shades. She got the
she's
dark
an
shades
actress.
on. And she got the little ear.
Because she was truly an extra that day. Because she was extra as hell. No Secret Service acts like that.
It took them too long. It was like they were waiting, like, dang, you didn't get the shot off? Like,
Their rehearsals, they didn't rehearse enough. Because I'm telling you, to hear a gunshot go off, if I'ma pull my ear, like, first of all, I'm not even finna touch my ear after I get shot.
I'm just saying.
The crowd behind him and the way that they were stuck looking, some of their eyes I could see were cued on whoever was supposed to tell them when to get down. The fact that the shot sounds didn't come till after he touched his ear, that in itself should let you know. Y'all gonna dissect this video when y'all see what we're talking about. Y'all gonna go back to this video and look at the parts that we're describing, and y'all gonna know. Y'all gonna have to know.
In the world of social media, with all the people that had their phones up, where's the rest of the footage? Because we only get like bits and pieces.
Well, I mean, you know that's how it
And
happens.
they got to scrimmage through it.
They put stuff up, and like I told you before, they control what is allowed out in certain areas.
Svengali.
So, with that control, they already scoping these videos and knocking them out the box before they reach the masses. Yeah. So, certain videos that give a good angle of not really being able to tell what's going on have been let out. But the ones that they did let out, they didn't do good. They didn't do good. And that's how you can tell they're edited, because the sounds come after reactions.
The girl scream, that part is so,
Oh Lord,
like
the
I know
scream
about
is
sound
just getting
checks.
on my nerve.
And that scream is not on every video. The way she's screaming, it should be on every video. Every video.
Because if I can hear the scream on the far away video, the one that was right behind him, I should be hearing that same scream. And that in itself let me know. Because the one from behind, the ones on the fence with their hand on their hip, they didn't even flinch. Like, they missed the whole
still
cue.
standing up. He'll still
Standing there like,
he'll just what's going on?
Then everybody got hit. Get down. They still at the fence standing like.
Listen, y'all could have slid us on $200, bro. I'm telling you, we some great actors, man. Y'all could have slid us that whatever change I gave them.
Whatever they
didn't
paid.
them, like.
No, they paid them. They probably gave them that 75 that never mind. I ain't about to say her name. I lied.
Don't do that.
I was about to call the casting director, slam out. But yeah, when you pay people, we know, okay, when we're doing scenes, we know what it's like when people are on set for too long, they get aggravated, they want to hurry up and get this shot, whatever, and how people react once they're sick and tired of being there. And that's what we observed in this video. Like, I've seen the other assassination videos, and I've never seen an assassination attempt video that has ever made it seem real. And how many assassination attempt videos are there?
It's a lot. I mean, but it's some real ones out there. Like even when all right, I go back to this. Even when the dude threw the shoe at Bush, people still ran. The Secret Service
a shoe
made them run. They threw a shoe. He was over there in one of the Muslim countries because you know they throw a
slip at you in a minute, boy.
You know what I'm saying?
But the fact that an object thrown without a ricocheting sound can make people scurry. You mean to tell me that people are just so bold that when they hear gunshots, I know 4th of July just passed, but damn. Ain't nobody shooting fireworks at the rally. Come on now.
That's what I'm saying.
And y'all ain't even flinch. Like, nobody at the sound of gunshots flinched. Oh, please.
Listen, if you drinking that Kool-Aid, I just hope that it's red, and I hope it got a lot of sugar in it.
First off, if you believe any of that, I hope that you are okay, because I'm feeling some type of way for you.
I got an oceanfront property in the middle of the Mojave Desert for you.
You so damn stupid. Right.
If you believe that,
I got oceanfront property in the middle of the desert waiting on you. I'm done. So let's get to the last part, because the last part was, it just had to be staged because of the symbolism that was tied to the image that they were trying to recreate in this production. When that whole thing was over with and he stood up, if you guys realize how he held up his fist to look like the statue or monument.
Like the Gettysburg. I think it's the Gettysburg address.
Okay,
statue.
Their monument that they did. If you look at that moment and that monument, they are symbolic of each other so closely till it's ridiculous.
With the flag behind it, I'm gonna try to find a side by side so you guys can actually see. But it's super symbolic.
It's too comparable.
The flag behind it, like they putting the flag down and they got him holding his hand up. I'm like,
it's too symbolic. It's just too closely done. So for whoever wrote this whole rundown script or whatever, they did a great job of adding a lot of symbolism. And if you look further into the video in comparison to situation, you will see a lot more symbolism that we probably didn't talk about. But that one monumental moment at the end where it looked just like that, I've never seen that. Like, if you're trying to get away from an assassination attempt, most times you stay ducked down. You don't stand up proudly and hold your hand in the air to be like, hey, take another shot.
This the same person that didn't go to the draft. You know what I'm saying? He made up a sickness. Okay? He made up a sickness not to go to the draft. but you guys think that this is a tough guy. I mean, because that's what it was supposed to look like. Like, oh yeah, my president, you know what I'm saying? He took a shot. Because I'm telling you, I promise you, he's going to, everyone, I just want everybody to know that I'm really the president just like the rappers. I'm just like black people. I've been shot before. I'm telling you, he going to take this and he going to spend it. He going to spin it around, bro. Listen.
First of all I'm saying is an assassination attempt on Trump. If somebody really wanted to take him out, he would have been out. Because if little children can go into a school without a scope and just hip fire and kill 13 people, come on now. Ain't no way in the world that boy missed that good. And notice I used good because he missed perfectly, if that was a real shot, to hit a piece of his ear.
First of all, the way the Secret Service works and the way they are, they're because I remember I've been to 2 rallies, and I also been to, I hate to call it a rally. It sounds so, don't want to say it.
Right.
Blanca. I've been to 2, and I've also been to Obama's acceptance campaign, his first one. And being out there and seeing how they check you, how the Secret Service checks you. I'm talking about, I was like way in the back. The Secret Service checks everything, and they are all over the place. They are like, they on top of every fucking building.
Cause see, I was there at the first what do they call it? The Democratic debates or whatever. I was literally there. Like, I had to escort him from back to stage.
So you see how it is.
Right.
Like,
they don't play that game, bruh. And then the way that they move, that video did not show any aspects of truly trained. No.
First of all, the point that I'm really getting to is, if you've seen the video of the guy that's on top of the trailers, if they have footage of him just laying there dead, that means that somebody seen him up there before he was up there. That means that they like it just don't make any sense to me.
You don't.
They would have capped him before he even had a chance to even get any shot off. Like, we talking about the Secret Service. We talking about motherfuckers that shut the whole highway down. When Trump and Biden come to town, they shut the entire highway down. And they have a fleet of cars. I'm talking about over 20 different cars, and you don't know what car, you don't know which car is what do they call it? What's it, his secret eagle, whatever the fuck. You don't know which car he's in. It's over 20 cars. And then you have the cop cars on top of that.
Oh my gosh. And when I saw that for the first time, I was like, okay, wait a minute.
So
how many cars do y'all have? Yeah. Why do y'all have to block all lanes of traffic for this? Like, we sat in traffic one night so long, and it moved so slow because they had an entire fleet of cop cars in each lane, lights blaring. They had been up the road a ways, but they only moved up a mile every couple of, and they would not let people get through. Like, there was no way to get around. They blocked exits and everything.
This ain't the 60s. This is definitely not the 1800s. So it's like your assassination attempt is not the same. So I just
doesn't give the effect of an assassination attempt.
No.
It gives, oh, we had great writers and they did a great job. I'm sorry. I know, like I said, some people take things so seriously because it was on the news.
Yeah, I had a friend of mine get mad at me at my post because they took my post that I was making a comedic type post, but I wasn't. And they basically was like, somebody actually died here. And I was like, okay, that's what you've been told.
That's what they tell you.
And we're not trying to be insensitive, but you got to understand when your best interest is not involved, they can tell you anything. They can tell you a 6-year-old got popped in the head and took the bullet that Trump took. I'm sorry, I laughed at that. I started laughing saying it. But they could tell you that. And we already know that the news is scripted because every newscaster literally say the same thing. We're people that's in the media and we're telling you it's scripted.
Right.
We working this shit and we're telling you it's scripted. not to go against anything, but just like it's entertainment to a certain extent.
All of it.
So you have to take that with a grain of salt, and you can't get your feelings involved because it goes back to what we're saying. That's what Svengali is. When they take your mindset, they show you something or give you something, and in order to basically coerce you into feeling a different type of way and changing your mindset. Because trust me, believe it or not, it's going to change the whole course of this entire election. And it doesn't help that Biden is stumbling over his words, calling Trump his vice president. Like, it does not help that this man has dementia and he's passing gas on stage and pooping himself. It does not help.
It doesn't. And they picked him for that reason, because they already saw that he was headed down that road and would make a despicable candidate. And for whatever reason, those that are in line that want to be the next whatever, what have you, have not been looked at and will probably never be looked at because they're too genuine of people to be considered one that they can manipulate.
Also, they're probably not related either. You know, the president's got to be related. All the presidents been related. That's
what, like I said, again, they can't manipulate the candidates the way that they want to.
Because I told y'all where our mindset, where we're trying to go as far as with our votes. But even with that, like, fucking, excuse my French, but catching hell just trying to elect the third party.
Right.
Like, I've been trying to elect Cornel West, which was my actual pick. When we gave you guys the episode last season about our, showing that it's different candidates. You don't have to be stuck with two lesser evils. There's other choices.
There are other choices.
When it comes down to trying to pick a different candidate, I'm just letting you know. It's not to deter you. I want you to stay the course. But there's other things that goes in line with it. They're going to send you a form. They want you to actually register as a voter. They want you to you're basically saying that I'm committed to giving you my vote. That's all. But they send you a form that you have to actually get notarized. So keep that in mind. If you do want to vote for a third party or anybody else like the Green Party or anything like us, there are other steps that you have to go in line with. You can still go when you go vote and choose a different name on there, but I'm just letting you know, in order for your vote to get counted, these are the things you gotta practice. These are the things you gotta go through. Because if you one of them type of people, because I know of people that fill their name out. Talking to you, I know of people that if they don't want to vote for either candidate, they'll put something else right there. When you do that, your vote is decided for somebody else.
Right.
There are registered electors that take your vote and decide where your vote should go. So if you do not select a candidate that's actually on that ballot,
and you just write in a random name, yours or anyone else's,
your dog's name or anything like that, what happens is your vote goes to the next best person. And whoever they want to select, they're going to put your vote towards.
Right.
So if you want to break the system, if you want to see if the system works, you know how a lot of folks always saying, oh, your vote don't count. This is the moment to challenge that. This is the moment to challenge that. If you feel like your vote don't count, I challenge you, I urge you to still go vote, but don't vote for either one of those parties. Pick somebody else. Try it, but do not. Don't go picking other and choosing somebody that's not a candidate.
Don't write in.
Please don't do that. Okay? Unless it's somebody that's actually a legit candidate that you know is on there, do not fill it in with somebody else's name. That's all I got to say. You got anything else you got to say for the Svengali episode?
No, because I'm pretty sure a lot of people are going to have a lot to say about what we're talked about so far. And I'm ready for the comments. Yeah. But at the same time, the whole purpose for me for this episode is to wake everyone up, give you an eye opener to understand that you cannot be deceived just because you feel that this is a trustworthy means of information. because they give you what they want you to have when they want you to have it. There are so many places for you to get truthful information. And right now, I'm not gonna lie, TikTok seems to be the place to get it from.
Yep.
Because they're the only place that's not governed by our particular leadership. So they have no control of canceling out true messaging from people that really want you to know what's going on. And if you follow these people, you will get their updates. They talk about this stuff all the time. They open your eyes to what's truly going on because we're blinded. We're just like herded cattle going one direction. All of you stay in line, and if you don't stay in line, they send the dogs for you.
Mm-hmm.
So please, y'all, if y'all don't care about nothing else that we talked about this entire episode, and I kind of wish I said this at the beginning, just know that they give you what they want you to have, and I need y'all to think for yourselves and discover what needs to be discovered that's underlying behind all of this nonsense. So even if you do believe it's a true event that happened with Trump, cool. But at the same time, do your own research on the underlying effects that are coming. So once again, if you do not know Project 2025,
please
look into it and get the document, read through it or skim it and just see what it's talking about. Also, there's a young lady, what's the girl that's always with the controversy with the...
Candace Owens?
Yes, that's the one with the blonde built bad body. That's...
Yeah.
She gives it like it's supposed to be given. We need more candidates like her. And if you can get with her and see what she's talking about, you would understand that.
Take the emotion out of it.
Please take your ass.
And I'm not related to her, by the way. But go ahead.
Please take your head out your ass and realize that these are the types of candidates that we need to be looking for. These are the types of candidates that we need to be getting registered so that they can bring the true change that we need to be brought to our society, because they're not sugarcoating, they're not bribable, they're not people that are just going to easily roll over and just take it. You guys have to begin to learn your judicial, municipal, and all of these different systems and find out how they're worked so that we can get true people in there that know that their duty is to the people.
You gotta take the emotion out of it. A lot of times, because I know a lot of times people hear certain things that you say and they be turned off because they be like, I don't want to hear that. But you got to take the emotion out of it, because a lot of the things she's saying are actually for our best interest.
Right.
And then to go back on what you're saying as far as like to rope everything out with the Svengali, they're going to tell you and feed you what they want to feed you to draw up the narrative. For example, look at the song that we brought in with. We came in with Not Like Us. This was just supposed to be a regular rap beef. But why was it the song on the NBA Finals? You know, you had some of the political people talking about it. You had people that's not like us using the song as a ploy.
And my problem is most of y'all ain't even listening to the lyrics for real.
It's very powerful. I'm a huge Kendrick Lamar fan from day one. But one thing I love about this guy is that he educates while sitting there and giving y'all the
right.
He educates, because this is the same person that brought us niggas and explained us what whole term niggas actually came from. Keep in mind, that's the same guy. You know what I'm saying? So don't be fooled by certain things, but at the same time you got to look at why was it so heavily focused on, like, damn, I'm talking about it was on everything, even still. But when the shit was going on, everybody was involved. I'm talking about people that ain't got nothing to do. I'm talking about the sportscasters talking about this stuff.
Right, everybody.
That's a form of Svengali. If you see things like this, you got to be aware of it. And we're not trying to sit here and revolt the masses, but we just trying to, like, it's called meaningful discussions. We just want you guys to be aware. Like I always say, my name is Avenue. I'm the conscience for the community. I'm the person that's gonna remind you of things, because so much be happening that we often forget. Oh, this happened already. And if you're not aware of what's going on, anybody can throw something up at you. Think about it. I mean, Melania Trump, when she was doing her first lady speech, she literally gave you guys the same exact speech Michelle Obama gave you.
If you were paying attention.
Word from word. I'm talking about didn't change nothing besides the name of the husband. And that ain't something that you just changed. That's something that you just automatically know. So when you see things like that, when you see the newscasters are all saying the same thing, and you turn from channel 5 to channel 2 to channel 2 to channel 9, and then 11, and you keep seeing the same thing and hearing the same thing, that's when you got to know what's actually going on. That's the whole purpose of this episode. It's just being aware. We're just trying to make the masses be aware of what's going on, so we're not influenced, or at least if we're aware, we're not completely completely bought into the BS, or we're not letting it affect us in our day-to-day lives, because these things don't have to affect us, but they can affect us. And if that don't make sense to you, like, literally sit back and break down those words. What I'm saying, they don't have to affect us, but they can affect us. That means that, like, it's no different. To give y'all a quick breakdown before we close out, money. We all know money is fake, right? It's fake. It's a made-up concept. You have to believe in what it is, or I had, like, if me and Shaq are the only people that's in this room, and we're locked in this room, and he got stuff that I need, I got stuff that he need, or whatever. That's how money is literally created. I'm gonna give you 5 of these books that I have that you want to read, that they mine. I'm gonna get those to you, so you can give me some shoes or some shit or whatever I need from you. It's a barter system, but that's the only thing money is. Money is basically just taking the place of that bartering. Whereas, like, all right, I know you want money. You only want money so you can pay for the other things that need money. But during COVID, we realized that money was actually fake. I mean, you should have known that before.
Should have.
You should have known that before, but some folks really was like, oh, they need money to make the space. They got to build rockets and stuff. Like, no, they don't need money for that. If you own everything, what you need money for? This is just like when they do the Sierra Leone diamonds and shit like that. You think they're paying those people to look for those diamonds? Like, you think they paying those people in the sweatshops to do the things that they doing? Okay. The point that I'm getting to is, Svengali, if you're not paying attention to what's going on in the world, you will easily be manipulated to what's going on in the world.
Right. And all I got to say is don't be manipulated. And I'm done.
That's it. See y'all next time.